Hey everyone, in this video I wanted to walk through what I'm expecting for the Python practice lab. So for this lab, what I want for you to do is to visit practicepython.org and complete exercises 1 through 6. For each one of those exercises, you're going to create a new source file and name it exercise followed by the number.py. So you should have an exercise1.py, exercise2.py, all the way up to exercise6.py. Once you've completed that, you can submit those 6 PY files here. Now, as you're looking at the exercises, and we will here in just a second on practicepython.org, you'll notice that the solutions are provided for each one. If you get stuck, you're more than welcome to take a look at those. The whole purpose of this lab is to just review programming control structures and to familiarize yourself with the Python programming language. There's a lot of different backgrounds coming into this class. Some people have already taken 135 and due to that are already familiar with the Python language. Some people are coming out of 145 and understand the concepts but haven't been introduced to the language yet. So I think that this lab will serve as a good exercise for both groups of people and hopefully serve to get us all on the same page so that moving forward we can start looking at new content. Now, if you need any help or you don't understand a topic, I ask that you please reach out to me. I'd like to work with you and identify any problems so that we can go ahead and remedy those or, uh, you know, look at some material that would address that. All right, so with that said, what I want to do is just walk through exercise 1 with you and show you what I'm expecting. So if we click on this link, you can see all exercises in this left column, and what I want for you to do is exercises 1 through 6. Okay, and we're going to do this first one together. So character input. Now, as you read through here, there's a lot of great information. The author takes you through explaining some of the things like manipulating strings and user input. The exercise itself is right here at the beginning. So exercise 1, notice that the solution is linked. So again, if you get stuck, you can come out here and you can look at that solution. I do ask that you try to go through this organically the first time. But again, by all means, if you get stuck, go back and look at that solution. So what it wants for us to do is to create a program that asks the user to enter their name and their age, and then print out a message addressed to them that tells them the year that they will turn 100. Okay, so let's open up idle. And anytime we open up idle, it's going to first come up to this interactive prompt. And what we want to do is open up a new file so that we can save our source code in it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do that by going to File, Save As. And in my Documents folder, if you haven't done it already, I'd recommend making a folder specifically for our class, so CSCI 145. And then in there you could organize this however you'd like. I would probably organize it by module, so module 0, and then we'll call this exercise1.py. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here, and at the beginning we always want to have this user bin env python 3. That just serves for Unix-based operating systems to know how to run that file. On Windows, the .py tells Windows to run this file with Python. So what we want to do is we want to ask the user to enter their name and their age. So I'm going to create a variable name, and we'll use an input and prompt them for that. And then we'll do the same thing with age. And then after I read age in, I'm going to convert that to an integer. And what it wants for me to do is to tell the user what year they will turn 100 years old. So if I'm going to figure that out, I need to know what the current year is. Now we could use some sort of a date or time module and programmatically figure out the year. For our use case though, let's just create a variable called current year and set it to 2017. And then what I need to do is figure out how many years until the user becomes 100 years old. Okay, so um, we need to come up with a variable name for that, and let's call it 100 years. We could call it 100 years old. Python is in Python we prefer to be more explicit and easier to read than cryptic, so a variable name like this is perfectly fine. And let's just do 100 minus age. So if you're 18 years old, then 100 minus 18 says that you'll be 100 years old in, let's see, 2 is 20, 82 years. Okay, and then we want to take whatever this is and add it onto the current year. So let's call it 100 year equals current year plus 100 years old. And what they asked us to do here is, after we ask them for that, we want to print out a message addressed to them that tells them the year that they will turn 100 years old. So let's do a print statement. We'll say, hi, whatever your name is, in the year, whatever that year is, you will be 100 years old. Now I have two format specifiers here, so I am going to have to use a tuple after the percent sign to substitute back in, and I need another close parens to close the open parens from this print. Now, from left to right, the first thing I come across is this %s. That's supposed to be the user's name, so I'm going to put name in this tuple first, comma, the next thing is this %d, and that should be this variable 100 year. Great, so now what we want to do is go ahead and run this, make sure it works correctly. So let's say my name's Corey and I'm 18 years old, and it looks like if that's the case, then in the year 2099 I will be 100 years old. Great, and what you would want to do from there is try this with different values and make sure that it's still correct. So let's say Bob, maybe 28. Well, that's 10 years older than 18, and we see that this is 10 years less than 2099. So I'm starting to feel like I got the logic correct here. Okay, there will be some extras, so I'd encourage you to try to do those as well. Add on to the previous program by asking the user for another number and printing out that many copies of the previous message. Okay. Well, to do that, since we've already printed this out, let's create a variable called repeat and set it equal to enter a number, and then let's convert that to an integer. Oops. And then we can use a for loop to do this. Of course, we could do it with a while loop, but let's see if we can do it with a for. So for I in the range of repeat, print some sort of message. So since we're going to print that same message over and over again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this out. So I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to put message there. And what I'll do is just create another variable called message. So this illustrates a good point here, and that's that if we use these format specifiers, they don't have to be used inside print statements. They can be used as we are writing strings. We just put this % at the end, and it'll sub back in things for us. So message is just a string, and then we're going to print that out here, and we'll print it however many times here. Okay, so let's save that, run it, see how it goes. So name, let's say Bob, it's 28, and we want to see that 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. And then the second part here says print out that many copies of the message on separate lines. So we basically did that. I'm not sure exactly what they were trying to convey there. Let's look at the solution real quick. So once you have it figured out, if you didn't have to use the solution, then you can come in here and you can view it. And it looks like they actually did not do the extras here, but you can see that there's more than one way to solve a problem, and this illustrates that well. I did the formatted print. They did theirs with string concatenation. Either way works just fine. Alright, so what I want for you to do is, again, just go through these. Uh, you don't necessarily have to do the bonus or the extras at the end, but I do want for you to at least do the exercise. Once you have these guys saved, what you can do is open up that folder. So there would be 6 Python files here, and then you can come back into the assignment, add the submission, and what I'd like for you to do is drag and drop each of those 6 files, so you'll essentially be submitting 6 files here, and at the end you'll hit save changes after they upload. You'll see all 6 of your files here, and that will be your submission. Alright, so if you have any questions, please reach out to me. If not, I'll talk to you all in the next video. Thank you.